At Wendy's,
This just in. Wendy's new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is now an option with the 4 for $4. Let's go live to Switzerland. You can hear the ceremonial Swiss Alpine horns welcoming the new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, an officer from the Swiss Army is using his knife to cut into a ceremonial block of cheese. There you have it, the deliciously different Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now available for a limited time with 4 nuggets, fries, and a Coke for just $4. Stay neutral, Switzerland.
at participating Wendy's for a limited time. Meal includes small fries and a drink. Not valid in Alaska, Hawaii, or Switzerland.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, and welcome to Conscious Talk Radio, and I'm your host, Linda Summers, and these shows are all about relationships and all that encompasses, and the guest experts on the show will be providing you with information as to how you can become more connected with yourself. And today's topic is visibility for your online biz after 50 with Allie Jean, and we are welcoming back Allie because she was back here. She was on the show back in August, so we're welcoming her back. But before we bring her on board, I want to give you some background information about her. Allie Jean, she has a company called Red Unicorn Media, and it is about creating something from scratch that has been sitting in your heart and mind's eye for ages. When you feel the urge to do something artistic, rebellious, original, and full of courage that you feel deep down inside, that is Red Unicorn Media at its soul level. When you're done rushing everything in your business and know that you have something more to do and say that will literally give people an entirely new perspective on your gifts, that is when you come to ride the rainbow and do magical unicorn things that are rare, fun, and amazing. Red Unicorn shows off your soul path in the bright white light. Allie with Red Unicorn Media is here to do the things that will up-level your gifts and show you that, yes, you can brand yourself in every single service and product you offer. It is all about you and your dreams. Nothing is transactional or professional when it comes to being a part of Red Unicorn Media. It's all about your soul path and the most creative and fun way to walk it together. And with that, I'd love to welcome back Allie to the show. Hey, Allie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming back on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on here because you truly are the poster child, I guess, for relationships, because you really do bring that forth in everything that you do. And I can say that you've done my branding for me, and I just love it. So, you know, I can just really say that whatever you do, you put your heart and soul into it. And so I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, my first question is, what really kind of prompted you to do this topic of the, the baby boomers, visibility for your online biz after 50?
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting topic because I haven't actually seen it out there, but it's something that I deal with a lot in my clientele. So I have two types of clients, and one of them is someone who is over 50, a woman who is over 50, and she is looking to do something that literally has been in her heart probably since she was little. And she's part of the baby boomer generation, and one of the toughest things about having an online company is visibility. And for the baby boomers, for the most part, not every single one, but for the most part, they have been taught that visibility and kind of showing off who you are and all of the great things about you is kind of not acceptable. And so a lot of my clients, I have to rewind this programming that has been in them and instilled into them by other people for many, many, many years.
And how do you go about rewinding that? How do you go about making that change for them?
It's very emotional. One of the first things that we do is we discuss how they feel about visibility. And usually what happens is they come up with the first thought is, well, it scares the hell out of me. I mean, they literally, they're thinking about everything that they've been through. And these are people who could have very, very successful careers that they've worked, their whole life and they love it. They're just at a point where they're exploring something that is more meaningful to them. And they could be someone who has had a stellar career in marketing and advertising, even television. But what happens when the spotlight is on them, they immediately go to all of these fears. So we talk about them one by one. And the biggest one really is it's not okay to show off what's great about me. And so we go in depth about what that feels like for them and how we can get past that. And it's a lot of baby steps for the baby boomers. There's a lot of people that can relate out there. You could be the most outgoing person, but to actually show off and use these skills that you've used for other people, it's kind of, you have this thing like it's not allowed. So we really start small, and we start with talking about things online and showing things off about you online that have nothing to do with your dream or your business. So a lot of people think, how can that help me? But it is it's small steps. For instance, a baby boomer might say, taking a selfie is conceited. It's not something that's acceptable. So that's one of the first steps as well is, hey, why don't you take a selfie? And they're always like, why? That's horrible. I don't need to take a selfie. So, it's small steps, and a lot of times has nothing to do with their actual business goal. And that kind of helps start rewinding that, because they get a response from people that feels good.
Right. And I think that generation, that generation, that's so true, that it was taught that if you do that and talked about yourself and what you do, it was very conceited. So that's been programmed from, way back, their parents and parents and parents and so forth. So, and it's just been embedded in them as to not to really put yourself forward and be visible. So very
absolutely.
So you talk about visibility. So what is the online visibility, and how does it create better relationships with friends and clients? So how can they, you talked a little bit about, just showing a selfie or doing things that are not relationship to their business, but let's just, talk about the visibility in the sense of what are you really referring to as visibility?
Visibility is exactly what it sounds like. It's literally people seeing you. And I take it to a real deep level, and that deep level is really revealing things online through graphics and photography and video that showcase who you are at a soul level. So a lot of this has nothing to do with your business, but it does, because the reason that you have these dreams and the reason why you want to nurture something new in your life that feels more meaningful is because of you. And everything that you've done in your entire life, all the things that you love, so you may be doing paintings, you may have an obsession with orchids, you may be very spiritual and have just a obsession with, crystals and the alchemy behind crystals and how they can heal. These are all things that baby boomers would be, and not just baby boomers, but we're talking about baby boomers. A lot of people are fearful of visibility. They can reveal this, and it gives an attraction. It's like magnetic. So they start being seen for who they really are, and who you really are reflects in your business online, and it will attract people who are like your dream clients and your dream customers. The people that actually respect and honor you and want to work with you so bad, but they don't know that you exist because you're not visible.
And it could be, too, where they didn't even know that, say, this person's dream was to be in interior design, and nobody even knew, friends of them didn't even know that they were interested in interior design, because they just, it was kind of like, So it could be like that, to where people don't even know that they're doing this. So to bring this out and show who they really are, and I love that, because to me, that's what life is really all about, is just showing up as you. But it's hard when you've been programmed for a long time. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I mean, these fears are definitely for everyone. I had the same fears, which helped me relate because my generation or my age was kind of the last of the people that didn't have, you know, videos being taken out, you know, at parties. And I didn't do selfies. Facebook didn't exist when I was a teenager. So I do have some of those same fears that baby boomers have of revealing, you know, who I am online. And I faced it and it worked, you know, and I love to pass this on to my clients and just on to anyone who will listen, that it's okay to reveal who you are, and it absolutely has 100% something to do with your business, even if it doesn't seem like it. Because people want to work with people they know. People want to work with people that have the same interests. But if we don't know who those are, what those are, or who you are, then it seems kind of, it just seems kind of cold. So visibility is so important.
Can you give us an example, like in your life, like, because I know that before when you started really doing the Facebook Live or anything, you and I had talked about that. So can you kind of share with everybody, like your a brief, you know, personal story of how you kind of broke free from that, like what you
broke
did and
free
you
from being fearful.
Yeah, to become visible because it was a fear of yours. You were saying.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, gosh, I have so many. I was actually just talking about it this morning. One of the things that people don't realize when they first meet me now is that I had any trouble opening Red Unicorn Media and being successful, because on the outside it looks like a lot of fun, a lot of success, lots of visibility, like I have no fears. But it really started with having so much fear in not knowing if I was doing the right thing. So I kind of tried everything, and I made a lot of mistakes. I was one of the first people to get Facebook Live, and because it was there, I tried it. I'm kind of that kind of person, and I was scared as heck. You know what I said? I didn't have a plan. I wasn't professional. I said, you know what? This is my first Facebook Live. I had nothing to say. And it was like ripping off a Band-Aid. I was really nervous. When I got off of it, I felt as if I had this big rush. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that again. And I don't care if I'm scared, because I keep hearing about, you know, if something really freaks you out, you should just run at it and just do it and keep doing it until you have that full control and feel like, hey, this is something good. Or you might feel so uncomfortable with it. Not every tool is okay for you. Maybe live Facebook isn't a good type of tool for your visibility, and that's okay. It's not okay to avoid it. You have to try new things if you want to evolve in your business and in visibility. And I mean, the stories, there's so many, but I can tell you that, you know, I've dropped my phone and I've been sideways on Facebook Live. I've been cut off in between. I've been cut off in the best conversations. I was just thinking, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then boom, Facebook cuts me off. And these are the types of situations where you kind of have to laugh. You kind of have to say, you know what? I'm not perfect, and nobody expects me to be. And that's okay, because I find that some of the best things that have ever happened for Red Unicorn Media and this whole journey I've been on is through many mistakes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where the connection builds, because people want to see the realism of life, because life is that way, instead of it being, you know, all set up and everything is so perfect. And it's like, the world is not like that. You know what I mean? There are things, which is great, because that's how we grow and evolve. So what you're saying is that you just bit the bullet and you just like, okay, I'm going to do this, not knowing what they're saying. So you're so raw and real, basically, you know, that I love that. Yeah. And look what happened.
Absolutely. I know.
You were like the best.
It's fun. I try to look at all of the fear in a fun way. And it's difficult, though. It's difficult. And I'd love to point out, too, is that with women that are generally over 50 years old, there's a perfectionism thing going on here. So, you know, you were taught that if you checked off all of these certain boxes, that was organized, professional, and the way to success. But the world and especially the online world just doesn't work that way anymore. It's very raw. It's very real. And actually too much professionalism and too much perfection can be looked at in a negative way.
Mm.
Yeah.
And how so? So you can you elaborate on that for the listeners?
Yeah, so if you're looking at an online business and you're not seeing anything that feels like you have a connection to that in real life, like there's, you know, just too many professional photographs. There's no real voice there where you connect with it and go, oh my God, like she understands me, or she's not completely perfect. You know, they might even hide behind their brand, so their profile picture might be a logo, or it could be just this kind of smiling face where you think, is she really like that? If you ever, like I run Red Unicorn on total intuition, so whenever I get even just an inkling of a feeling, I listen to that. I listen to that fully, and I think a lot of people are kind of running on that. Because, you know, your intuition it's so strong, and the more you practice it, the more you see kind of the false in the world. And so if you see something that's just too perfect, too good to be true, and you're not seeing any sense of a real person there, then it's probably a charade.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, interesting. So do you have any tips for people to be able to break past these fears and get visible? I mean, I know you shared your own story, but do you have any, like, tips that people can just, like...
Sure. So the first step would be to do a selfie and to embrace this philosophy on the selfie, is that it's not conceited. It's actually, think about when you're at the office and you're saying hello to people and they're seeing you today in the outfit you're in the mood you're in, the makeup you're in, your hairstyle, everything. We don't see that. If we see only that same profile picture over and over, or maybe you're throwing in some really professional photography, that doesn't feel real to us. A selfie is just a hello. It's just like saying, hey, I'm here today, like, hello, everybody. So, you know, start with that, and that's hard. That's actually hard. I remember the first time I did it, I took about 100 pictures, and I didn't like any of them, but I just did it anyways.
Wow.
Yeah,
and did you post?
Then the other one, I posted one, and I definitely doctored it up a little bit with the Facebook filters. I was nervous. But then it gets easier with practice, and it made sense to me, and I made connections through that. They were kind of like, hey, how are you? And the people were posting in that same thread with their own selfie. So it felt like we were all at the office that day, and it just made sense to me. It finally made sense to me. And it didn't feel like it was all about me. It felt like I was just saying hello. Exactly. And another thing is your profile picture. Take a good look at it. Does that really represent who you are? Are you being too professional? Is it showing your personality? Because that is something that I look at. That's like the doorway. So if you're looking for new friends and followers and an audience, that's like the first thing that we see. So that's a good one to look at too.
Oh, wow. I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what are you were talking about truth bombs. When you say truth bombs, I mean, you've probably said some in the show a lot, but, you know, you talked about tricks and truth bombs that you could give us.
Yeah, I mean, for a truth bomb, I can totally go into detail about that when it comes to your image. You know, if you are only showing one side of yourself through your profile pictures or professional photography, if if you are showing only professionalism and, you know, all the happy days and all the perfectionism in your company, no one is trusting that. Like, you are hiding so much, and there is a lot of emotion that has nothing to do with your company. That's like old wounds, old emotional stuff that's totally personal that you need to work on. Every time you have a problem with your money situation, every time you have a problem with waking up and saying, what the hell am I doing this for? Like, why am I doing this? Like, this doesn't make sense today. And then, you know, because being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. One day you're happy, the next day you're like, what am I doing? This is crazy. And really what I have found is it's just the best therapy, because what I've tried to do is look at myself. And I don't look at myself as a business owner. I don't look at myself as that at all. I say, what's going on with me? You know, why am I feeling like I don't want to be visible today? Why do I feel, you know, upset about a money situation or where my direction is in my company? And oftentimes it's like it can be old childhood stuff. You know, I look at it and I'm going, oh my God, this has nothing to do with Red Unicorn. This has nothing to do with me today. And I'm holding on to this old energy. And I feel like the truth bomb here is, you know, take a look at yourself when you're not happy in your career and in your business, because it's probably something that is very personal. And business is personal. When you're an entrepreneur, it's all very emotional. And you should be looking and checking in so that you can evolve. And that's what I've been doing. It's like, I am not the same person as I was this time last year at all. Not at all. And I've cried. I have screamed. I have had bad months. I've had great months. You know, it goes from one extreme to the next. And it's always about balancing, leveling out, looking inward and checking in and saying, am I evolving? Am I growing? What is this really about? And the more I do that, no matter how bad it gets sometimes, the more successful and happier I seem to be getting. So there's a big truth bomb.
Yeah. Right. So you wouldn't say, you're not saying to put, like, if you're feeling distraught over whatever's happening, right? Are you saying that's when a time would it would be a good time to post something saying, you know what, hey, here I am, real. Okay, you're not saying that. Okay.
No. Once in a blue moon, it's okay if you just screw up. I was actually just talking about that this morning with some of my some people that take my visibility course. What I do is I usually talk about it after it's been solved. So a few weeks from now, if I find some kind of inner wisdom and things have changed and I think it's like a good tip to share, I'll say, hey, this is what happened. This is what I got out of it. I hope it helps someone else so that you don't have to go through the same thing. I do that all the time. So I share the truth, but I don't get on and start usually when I'm in it. Not when I'm in it. No. Yeah. Because that makes more sense to do it after the fact, when you can actually give the solution and how you were able to work through that situation. Yeah. Because then it gets too emotional, and you might post something that you regret, or someone might disagree with you, and it could throw you into a deep depression. Who knows? You know? Yeah. Definitely wait till you're kind of out of the forest. Absolutely. Well, do you have any other tips you want to share on that? Because I was going to ask you then about your visibility course, because you just brought that up. So if there's any other tips or anything that you want to share with us on how to move past the fears to become visible, today. I have so many tips. I have so many tips. If people want to follow me, I'm constantly talking about visibility, because it really is the beginning of everything that will bring success to an online company. In my visibility course, we're just ending the last one of the year, And it's $125. It's 10 people. The next one is going to be the second week of January. And I love it. I do them, I think there's 4 a year now. So the next one will be in January. I was doing them every month, but it just got too busy, and I can't give my all to it every single month, even though I'd love to. But it's, it's filled. It's 3 weeks, and it's filled with amazingness. Like I take everything I've learned in the past 2.5 years, and I throw it at you. And you don't get it all. I was just telling everyone in the class today, I said, you know what? It's not all going to stick. No one's ever going to go through the course and go, yeah, I did it all, and I'm great, and I'm like awesome at visibility now. No, because it's too much, and it's always individual stuff. So even if just a few things stick, it's definitely an evolution and an aha moment, and it happens to everyone that takes the course if they do the work.
Yeah, and it's a process.
And it's also interactive, too. It's like live.
How can they follow you? How can they follow you? The best way is to find me on Facebook at Allie Jean, and it's ALLEYJEAN. Okay. And we'll have that on your video.
And then you'll see that I also run a group. It's called Wild Feminine Soulpreneurs. That's in Facebook, and that's amazing. That's growing. There's over 630 people in there now.
Yes, I saw. Awesome.
You're in there. I love it. I love it.
And your website, redunicornmedia.com?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And we'll have all that on there. So what's one thing that you can share with the listeners that has really, really helped you along your journey in the overall bigger picture? I mean, I'm sure there's so many things, but if there's one thing that you could really share with somebody that was really needed some inspiration, what would you say?
One thing. Yeah, that is hard, Linda. There's
a couple of things that you think are really important. Maybe give us 3.
Really
That'd
important
be great.
When you're starting off on your visibility is just to give yourself a break, and to really be visible. You need to just share with us, kind of like kindergarten on Friday afternoon when everyone would bring something from home. Look around your house. What is it about you that you're saying doesn't exist that actually does? Do you collect figurines? Do you collect paintings? Do you have a glass collection that's totally obscene and no one knows about this stuff? Do you have a Disney collection and, that's your thing? Share this. Are you a photographer, an amateur photographer? How many photos do you have? That's something we want to see. We want to see you, whether it reflects your business or not. Do you raise roses and you have, during certain times of the year, you have just this beautiful, crop of amazing prize-winning roses. This is something to share. This is something to be proud of. Look at yourself and stop saying that there's nothing interesting about you, because there is. There is so much interesting about all of us. And I know I don't know who you are out there, but I'm telling you, there's something special about all of us, and we're all put here to help at least one person. And if you don't put yourself out there and become visible and share with us, we're not going to know that you exist. And you get that gremlin in your head and you think, well, maybe no one should know I exist, or maybe, there's nothing great about me. I am not this. I am not that. I used to say the same thing. I'd say, I am not an artist. I am not special. I am not this. When you start saying those things, back up. Back that truck up, because you are defeating yourself. I mean, someone could have put those words in your head, and they're not even yours. Could have been an old teacher, an old boss. I know I've had quite a few bosses that weren't great. You have something special inside of you, and that is the first step in visibility. And it's really the first step in getting that courage up to go, you know what? I'm all in. I'm doing this. I am done with everybody's point of view of me. I'm not living inside someone else's picture of who I'm supposed to be. And all of these thoughts, all of these self-love and, inward thinking will really reflect in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there, and I just want everyone to know, like, I was there where you are if you're at the beginning. I was there when I didn't have any of that self-confidence. Mm-hmm. And I should have. It's just, after a while, you kind of get defeated in life. Yeah. I've made some bad mistakes, and you start saying these things to yourself, and we can program ourselves to be whoever we want to be, So why not say some nice things to yourself today and, share something about you, look around your house, think about who you are. I just brought some old art from the basement up not too long ago, and it was stuff that I said, this is old. This is from such a long time ago. It's not any good. And instead, I brought it up, and I said, you know what? Why am I giving bad energy to something that I created that makes no sense?
Mm-hmm.
High vibes.
Absolutely. And what a different perspective, too. It's really shifting your perspective in a way of seeing the beauty in something that we don't think is beautiful, but we've created it for whatever reason, wherever we were at in that time of life, It was created, and like you said, it really comes from us. And I just loved everything you said, Allie. Really, thank you so much for the show and doing what you're doing and helping people to really show up in life as who they are and be visible for the gift that they are to the world. And that's really what you're really helping people to do. And so we're really, really just so grateful and just glad to have you back on. And it's always such a pleasure to have you here. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be on your show.
You're welcome. We want to thank all the listeners out there who joined us today and the ones who joined us via YouTube. We will have all her information on the video as well. We thank you so much. And please don't forget to subscribe, follow, comment, and like us. And again, Allie, thank you again so much. It was really a pleasure to have you here. So thank you. And thank you again for everybody else, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming, and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
At Wendy's,
This just in. Wendy's new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is now an option with the 4 for $4. Let's go live to Switzerland. You can hear the ceremonial Swiss Alpine horns welcoming the new Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, an officer from the Swiss Army is using his knife to cut into a ceremonial block of cheese. There you have it, the deliciously different Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now available for a limited time with 4 nuggets, fries, and a Coke for just $4. Stay neutral, Switzerland.
at participating Wendy's for a limited time. Meal includes small fries and a drink. Not valid in Alaska, Hawaii, or Switzerland.